everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you people about contract law. So, what this contract law basically is all about, and what do we study in contract law is what I intend to cover with you people. Now, when I talk about contract law, just for a start, remember it is dealt under Indian Contract Act of 1872. So we have a specific legislation which deals with contracts, which are generally business contracts, which is dealt under Indian Contract Act of 1872. So before we get into the depth and details of what the legislation, what the law is about, let us understand first why this law was required, right? So let me start with a quote by Stone, who is a professor of jurisprudence. He said, "It is through a contract that a man attains freedom. Although it appears to be subordination of one man's will to another, the former gains more than what he loses." Which means that when you are entering into a contract with somebody, right, it is through a contract that you get more freedom, you have more power. Though it might appear that because you are getting into a contract, you are entering into a contract with somebody, you are somewhere restricting your rights and liabilities. You cannot exercise completely the way you wish to. You don't have that freedom because you have to act within those prescribed parameters which have been decided between the parties, and you cannot go beyond that. But if we look at it from a different perspective, right, there are chances of gaining more than losing if we enter into a contract, is what Stone tried to say. Because if the rights and liabilities are defined exactly, then in that particular case, the other party will also try to perform its promise to the best of his ability. And therefore, your chances of losing out or having losses in that particular contract are minimalized, right? So, just a basic historical part of contract law. Why was it needed? So, the Indian Contract Act was originally drafted by the Law Commission of India, the Third Law Commission of India, and when there was Britishers rule in India, right? Earlier there was barter system, and if let's say I had rice and you had dal, we could exchange that rice and dal and get the transaction completed to satisfy our needs. But as the civilization grew, as the demands increased, as the economy increased, the number of transactions increased, it was realized that this barter system is not sufficient in itself. Moreover, when the Britishers came over here to India, they understood or they felt that there is a need for a specific legislation because there is no specific law which governs contracts specifically in India. Therefore, the Third Law Commission was entrusted with the responsibility to prepare a draft bill on this particular subject, and in 1866, a draft code with 269 clauses was prepared. This bill tried to define law with respect to your contracts, sale of goods, movable properties, indemnity, guarantee, agency, partnership, and likewise. So, whatever the business related laws or business related transactions were there, this bill tried to define clauses with respect to these transactions. Because the complexities in the business increased and there was no specific law which could be followed. And there was a need to have the rights and liabilities defined in place of the parties. What was happening was that based on whatever the English law was, or based on the decisions of what the other judges had given, or applying the principles of justice, equity, and good conscience. Judges gave the decisions whatever they felt was okay in that particular case. So there was complexity of cases with respect to decisions also, because if, let's say, I want to refer a decision with respect to X matter, right? Now, Judge A has given a different decision, and Judge B has given a different decision in a similar case, not in the same case. So whether decision of Judge A should be followed, whether decision of Judge B should be followed, was the confusion, and there was a lot of confusion which was arising. Therefore, this bill was prepared, and finally this bill was passed in both the houses of parliament, and the act came out which was known as Indian Contract Act of 1872. This act extended to the whole of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. It was enacted on 25th of April 1872, and it came into force on 1st of September 1872, which was Act number 9 of 1872. Now, when this act was prepared, as I said, 269 clauses were there, right? So when this act was prepared, it was prepared with a view to regulate those commercial transactions, keeping that business perspective in mind. But it was quite bulky, very heavy, right? So later on, what was done was that from section 76 to section 123 of the act, they were removed, they were separated from this particular act, because they were dealing specifically with sale of goods. So in the year 1930, we had Sale of Goods Act, which was taken from Indian Contract Act itself. So Sale of Goods Act 1930, provisions of Indian Contract Act of 1872, section 76 to 123 were taken out and put under Sale of Goods Act. Again, after 2 years, need was realized that still there are provisions which can be removed from this bulky legislation, and therefore whatever the provisions were with respect to partnership, which were sections 239 to 266, they were again removed from Indian Contract Act, and we had a new legislation which was Indian Partnership